Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Mike and Olive Review Things.
My name is Oliver and this is my dad, Mike.
And we are going to be doing a retro video today where we're going to review a movie that came out a really long time ago. It actually came out in 1995, 25 years ago. And that movie is...
Toy Story, the first one.
The first one. So basically, we started this channel right around the time Toy Story 4 came out. We wanted to review it, but then I talked to Olive and she had never seen any of the other Toy Stories. So now that Toy Story 4 is on Disney Plus, we decided to go back and watch the first one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. So far, we've only watched the first one. I watched it with Olive and Penny. Penny didn't want to do the entire review, but hopefully we can get her thoughts later.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about, does it hold up? Is it good? Is it scary? We're going to talk about all those things. So before we get started, so Olive's seen like every single Pixar movie ever, but she had not seen any of the Toy Stories. I'm not exactly sure why. So what is your favorite Pixar movie?
I forgot what Pixar is.
So, okay, so that's an interesting thing. So Pixar created these computer animated movies. So prior to this, prior to 1995, all of it was just cartoons. So it's like the show that you guys have been watching lately, Bluey. Like that kind of 2D style cartoon where things just look like they're drawn. And Toy Story was the first one that made it look like actual things. And they did a good job of making it look like toys. Like toys came to life. Prior to that, when I saw that as 15 years old, we were like, oh my gosh, they like actually got toys to like move and talk, that we were blown away by it. You guys have always just lived with it. And Pixar was the company that did that. And so it was like, this is a Pixar movie. This is the only company that can do this. Now, Sony does it and DreamWorks does it. And a bunch of different companies have come out with computer animated. It's been 25 years, like all the movies. And now, like The Lion King, those are the things that we're blown away by because that's like so real that they now think, oh, they just got lions to do it. So what's a movie that looked like Toy Story that you really like?
I'm thinking. Wait, first, what's your favorite movie from Pixar? Because I'm still
My
thinking.
favorite Pixar-specific movie was probably The Incredibles. I really liked The Incredibles when it came out. I thought it was like, that's the way you do a comic book movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. What one choose?
Is Wreck-It Ralph Pixar?
See, Wreck-It Ralph is Disney, which Disney now owns Pixar, and so that's also confusing. So no, it's not Pixar. Ratatouille is Pixar.
Oh, yeah.
Monsters, Inc. Oh, I love Monsters, Inc.
Wait, is Monsters University
Monsters
Pixar?
University.
Yeah, that's my favorite
Okay.
one. I think it was my first movie.
That was your first movie that you saw in the theater. So, Toy Story, 1995. Do you, as somebody who'd never seen it and had just always grown up with computer animated stuff, was it good? Did you like it? Did it look cool?
It looked very, very real because since I had a toy down there, it mostly looked like,
Or you have one of the toys that's in the movie?
well, not one of the toys, like a toy that looks like it.
Okay.
And it looked so real to my toy. It looked so real.
That's actually pretty interesting because all the toys that were used in Toy Story, other than the Buzz Lightyear and the Woody, were actual toys. The telephone's an actual telephone, Mr. Potato Head, the Slinky Dog, all those things were actual toys. And so I wonder how many kids now see that and just think, oh, that's a toy from Toy Story. But no, it's just an actual toy. Yeah. So that's interesting. So what did you think of the humans in it? The people?
Humans, okay.
Did they look like people? No.
Not at
So
all.
there's a thing called the Uncanny Valley where you're trying to make humans look like humans in CGI and computer animation. Pixar had not gotten this right yet. And watching it now, you realize, oh my gosh, the humans in it are horrifying. They look terrible. Sid is like, I mean, the hair and everything, it just doesn't. Eventually, they got to a point with like Inside Out, that movie, where the human characters don't look like humans, but they look like cartoonish humans kind of thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with Oh, Big Hero 6 is a Disney movie, but like
Oh yeah.
they finally figured it out. They had not figured it out in 1995, and it's kind of horrifying. What did you think of the story itself? That toys come to life.
I really liked it because if toys actually come to life, that would be amazing.
Yeah, but we wouldn't know. That's always the idea that it's like, oh, I don't remember leaving my toy this way, and then you go back into the room, and then so. Yeah, it's a great story. I mean, it holds up for sure, and it's incredibly simple. So maybe they were just trying to keep it like that, where it's literally a toy. He's the favorite toy. Buzz Lightyear comes in. He becomes the new favorite toy. He gets incredibly jealous. I didn't remember how jealous he really got, and that like all the other toys really thought Woody had murdered Buzz, and they were like, I mean, it gets pretty dark. And then Sid, the neighbor kid, is chopping toys up and blowing them up and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
why does he even have those things?
I wonder if kids who grew up like prior to that, yeah, we all knew kids in my age when I was a kid who were like really destructive of their toys. I wonder if that's the case anymore with people who grew up with Toy Story being like, oh no, they're going to come back and haunt me. So do you think, was it scary?
So no, but this part kind of creeped me out when the toys kind of like came out of the sand and mud, and yeah, it was very creepy, and I thought I knew what they were gonna do. Did not.
Did not. Yeah, that whole scene with Sid at the end is pretty intense. And we're going to ask Penny what she thought. And I think she's going to have a very different answer of whether or not she thought that was scary or not. So, did it hold up? Do you think that this is a recommendation for somebody who has never seen Toy Story? Do you think they should watch Toy Story?
Yes, but if wait. But if you're like scared of like moving toys or those creepy toys that Sid had.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say if your child's young and that might scare them, it might scare them even more that then their toys come alive. Like, so yeah, I mean, this is one of those ones that might be a little too scary for some kids. What's your grade?
8.
An 8? Yeah, I'm going to say an 8 as well. I think it's solid. I think it holds up for sure. There's definitely times that you watch it and you're like, that didn't hold up. But a lot of the other stuff does. And Buzz Lightyear and Woody, they're iconic now.
Which is iconic.
It's like they're super famous. Like now Disney World has a Toy Story Land. Like at the time, Woody and Buzz were a thing that was created specifically for this movie, but now they're just, I mean, super famous.
Yeah, when we went to Disney, we actually went through Toy Story Land. It like was giant, and it actually looked like we were toys.
Yeah, it's great. Toy Story World.
Yeah, it was great.
Toy Story Land, or however they called it.
I don't care.
Hollywood Studios is pretty incredible. So yeah, we both gave it an 8. We're gonna ask Penny to join us and see what she thinks.
We'll be right back.
All right, and so we brought Penny in. And Penny, how old are you now? 4. Penny's 4. And so she watched Toy Story with us as well. She didn't want to be in the entire review, but she just wants to say what she thinks. What did you think about Toy Story?
I like the toys.
You like the toys.
But I didn't like the bad toys.
You didn't like the bad toys or the bad guy?
Because Sid was the bad guy.
I don't like both of them.
Okay, so the toys that he made, you were scared of those?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were actually pretty creepy.
So yeah, I guess it might be a little scary for a 4-year-old. That part, Sid is pretty scary. As we had mentioned, the humans in the movie were all weird looking. They're all monsters. So it was made in 1995, and so it was very, very difficult. So Penny, would you watch it again? No? are you going to watch the second one with us? Hey, the second one doesn't have scary stuff in it. I can tell you that. Okay? All right. Thanks for watching this episode of Mike and Olive with Sometimes Penny Reviews Things.
We have to get new chairs.
Here we do. I feel like we're going to break one on camera. But that'll be our most viewed video. All right. Ready?
Yes.
And smile. No, not like that.
Daddy?
All right.
Daddy?
Dog, be quiet.